There's something really special about Ori and the Blind Forest. I mean, so much of it is wonderful. The handcrafted art style, the momentum in Ori's movement, the insane platforming in the chase sequences, the incredible music by Gareth Coker. But somehow, the game ends up being even greater than the sum of all these parts, and I put this down to a rather intangible idea called flow. The controls, the music, and the level design all work together to serve a single purpose: to create a cadence and a rhythm in the gameplay that makes you feel at one with Ori and the Forest of Nibel. It's tough writing music for games because the action is going to be different every single time someone plays it. The interactive nature of games means you can't have one piece of music that will hit every single beat 100% of the time, like you can in a film. So we have other methods. Dynamic music systems can be built to react to a player's actions in real time, but these are often very complicated and time-consuming to create. Ori and the Blind Forest actually uses a very basic dynamic music system, relying entirely on precise trigger points to transition from one track to another. So when you first reach the Spirit Caverns, this is the music you hear. When you find the area's upgrade, the wall jump, it triggers a transition to this version of the track. The music is now much more bouncy and lofty, just like Ori is with his newfound ability, reinforcing that sense of progression. On the other end of the spectrum are cutscenes, which remove the player's control entirely, essentially turning the game into a movie and allowing for that single piece of music tailor-made for the scene. Ori and the Blind Forest does this as well. In fact, it opens with a 10-minute cutscene, but has moments of interactivity peppered throughout it. The prologue may feel like one movement, but according to Gareth Coker, it's actually broken up into about 20 different sections, all seamlessly stitched together in order to score the action, using short musical phrases in the non-interactive moments and transitioning to music loops when the player assumes control. Then there's an option that falls somewhere in between these two, going on rails. Here, the player is given control over everything except the speed with which they move forward, giving the level a set pace. This can be useful because the arc of the level is much more predictable, making it easier to score specific moments of action. For a great detailed look at scoring an on-rails section, check out 8-Bit Music Theory's video on Kid Icarus Uprising. Ori and the Blind Forest doesn't have an on-rails section, which makes total sense. Movement is the cornerstone of Ori's gameplay, so it would be downright baffling to remove it. But it does have a level with a similar kind of philosophy: the escape from the Ginso Tree. This is the first of the game's 3 chase sequences, a challenging platforming gauntlet that tests your skill in the newly acquired Bash ability, which allows Ori to launch itself off objects, projectiles, and even enemies. The Ginso Tree escape has you rocketing up the tree, bashing and jumping and running and dying. It's brutal but rewarding, and music-wise it's actually similar to an on-rails section, except you still get to have full control over Ori's movement. The level is designed to limit you to a certain pace, and as a result, the music is able to very precisely score the action happening, without limiting interactivity. So first, A minimum pace is set in the form of the rising water. With the threat of death continuously on your tail, there's no time to stop and explore or enjoy the scenery. It forces you forward. Plus, the track opening with these frantic strings and rapid drum beats tells you, this is serious, you need to get moving. Then there is a speed limit introduced, with some tricks in the level to prevent you from getting too far ahead. Certain sections have you bashing off timed projectiles, so unless you're so quick as to catch the one before, you're gonna have to wait for the next one, bringing you back into pace. There's also the glowing, enticing bonus experience points conspicuously placed in out-of-the-way locations along the run, luring away the faster players who have a few extra seconds in their pocket. What this all achieves is keeping the player moving at a certain pace without actually putting them on cruise control. And ultimately, this serves to enable a smooth transition into the cutscene at the end. While the track does loop, a run through the Ginso Tree is timed to be about the same length as a single loop, so the entire level is designed to make that transition as seamless as possible. But pacing the player like this also allows the music to feel responsive to their actions and the world, even though it's not actually dynamic. It's in the little moments, like the introduction of piano the moment you start running, or how a slug enemy will pop up and shoot its projectile all in time with the music. Now, just to poke a hole in my own argument, this is all under the assumption that the track starts at the beginning of the level. And it does, but when you die, and you will die, a lot, the music continues to play, looping and throwing the entire thing out of sync. I find this odd, as it's so clear the music is meant to be played in time with the level. I'm sure Moon Studios tested it out and realized it doesn't work when you reset the music every time you die. But to me, it just seems like a missed opportunity to make sure that every player experiences the level the way it was intended. Because the more I played this level in time with the music, the more I recognized its cadence and flow and how intentional every moment is. So much so that I started to join in, playing it almost like it was a rhythm game. I was releasing my bashes in time with the music, and I discovered the best times to jump were actually on the beat. It feels like a choreographed dance, with every enemy action, every movement Ori makes, one part of something greater. This is what I mean by flow, where everything feels connected and works in relation to one another. It's not just how the controls flow, a jump, connecting a bash, or whatever. It's how the design elements of the game all interact to form something cohesive. When the music is coupled with level design, it can achieve so much more. It can score moments of action, it can make the gameplay feel more rewarding, and it can even guide the player, using our inherent sense of rhythm to let us know the best time to make that jump. When I'm in control of Ori, I feel connected to the forest of Nibel, like I'm part of the rhythm of the world, just like how I imagine our little forest spirit friend does. There is a kinetic attachment that can occur when music is considered alongside of a game, and I think that is what makes Ori and the Blind Forest so special. Thank you for watching, and huge thanks to my patrons who support the show. Top tier backers are the biggest fans and also confirmed to be the loveliest people. They are Chris Chapman, Mike TK, Nanalu, David Sternberg, Gregarwolf, Jedrick Walensky, and Neil. That's his full name apparently, just Neil. It really means so much.